Want to learn how to survive your 2 years in national service? Today, I'll be discussing the ideal mindset to have when entering the army. Hello everyone, welcome to the NASTI Dynasty, where we learn about life-changing habits, skill sets, and mindsets to help us all become more nasty. Today, I'll be discussing the ideal mindset to have when entering national service, aka NS. For those who are not so well versed with our Singaporean NS system, basically, Singaporean boys will be enlisted into the army at an average age of about 20. And yeah, it's basically compulsory. Usually, it will be after post-secondary school education, be it poly, ITE or JC, but it still depends from person to person. The amount of time spent in the service will range from 1 year and 10 months to 2 years, depending on your BMI status as well as whether or not you pass your IPPT. But long story short, if you want to faster ORD and CHAO, you have to pass your pre-enlistment IPPT. After I POP on March 2019, I went to OCS and I commissioned as an Air Force officer on December 2019. Then I ORD'd in February 2021. Personally for me, when I was about to enter NS, there were mainly two main dilemmas, which was whether to CHAO or whether to CHIONG. CHAO is the commonly used term when describing someone for feigning illness or injury in order to avoid a duty/responsibility. While CHIONG in this context basically means to devote all of one's time, energy, focus, and attention to doing or completing something. Before I enlisted, there were a lot of tips and tricks here and there from my uncles and cousins to tell me how I should actually go about surviving NS. Some of them suggested that I CHAO, just take MC and just let the 2 years pass, while others they told me to try the best that I can and just CHIONG for this entire 2 years. But I mean, I went through OCS and I actually commissioned, so you can probably already guess where I lie in this CHAO CHIONG spectrum.
But you're from Air Force.
Shut up lah. Anyways, throughout my time as a recruit, trainee, as well as officer, I've actually met many different kinds of people. Some, they work damn hard every single day, while others, they just do the bare minimum, but they're still technically doing their job in a sense. While others, they don't even meet the bare minimum, and because of that, they cause so much inconvenience for their colleagues as well as their superiors. So it actually got me thinking, what is the ideal mindset when it comes to serving NS? Hopefully after this video, you have a rough sense of why people CHIONG and CHAO, and decide for yourself what is the perfect balance for you.
My vocation would be infantry officer cadet. So what I do is mostly learn how to perform in stressful situations such as planning to attack, conquer, capture in jungle, or what we call operational warfare, or urban operational warfare, which is like in buildings.
I'm an infantry officer. I was posted to BMT, so I think my job is to help and also assist civilians and support the conversion or transformation from civilians to soldiers.
My vocation will be Air Warfare Officer, AWO, and my appointment in my unit will be Unit Liaison Officer, which basically takes care of all the equipment in our unit and also ensures that they are usable at any point in time.
I'm a military police specialist by vocation. I'm in charge of general security and order within my camp.
I'm a combat engineer specialist, and my job scope involves leading a section of combat engineers to protect forces across water bodies.
At the start, I was a commando. Then after I OC, I became a security trooper combatant. My job would be to ensure security of the camp.
My vocation is RT operator. I go out field and I point gun and shoot the air.
In general, about 6.
10 upon 10.
8.
8 out of 10.
Around 8.
A 6
4. The journey itself is super shag, but people there quite nice. You meet a lot of new people there.
As officer cadets, we need to train to be officers. So they always have very high expectations of officers. So we always go through very tiring exercises or outfields. But when you finish those exercises, you'll feel damn good about yourself. You feel damn fulfilled. But then there are times where I lie on the jungle, I look left green, look right green, wear green, hat green. All time low morale at the tree. Not fulfilling at all.
When you're doing it, you don't feel like it's a 10 upon 10. But looking back, it definitely helps you physically and mentally, because this is the period of time where you go through mandatory physical training, and this way puts you at your peak of your performance. Outside of national service, you won't do this. If I told you that, you're supposed to run every morning 1.5 km, 2 km, will you do it on your own personal time? I think personally I wouldn't, because I wouldn't have that mental strength to do it. But in national service, you're forced to do it, and that trains your mental strength for you to push harder.
Gave me a lot of chance to practice working with different kinds of people.
Work with other people.
Work with different people.
Because the people that I work with, they are from different all walks of life. So I've met an ex-con before. I've met people who were part of a gang.
Your lousy boyfriend from that stupid black spider gang.
You get to see your own work style and how your work style can complement the work style of others lah.
Especially to have good chemistry with my team in order to achieve mission success together.
I feel like during my vocation, don't have too many things like specific to my vocation that I can pick up on. I learned how to use the X-ray machine. But I don't think that's very useful in the outside world.
We wake up at like 6 a.m. and if it's a really shag day, we can end at around 3 a.m. the next day. After that, you go and sleep, the next thing you know, you wake up at 6 a.m. again. So like 3 hours of sleep. Some more, there's also no shade. There's literally no trees. So if it's super sunny, then you're but if it's super raining, you're also.
I think that people like would want to chiong sua because they just really want to do their best in NS. So they really have this goal that they want to make these 2 years fulfilling.
I feel that there's a very negative connotation in national service regards the words chiong sua.
Wayang. Right, they'll be like, oh, I'm in the army, I'm a good boy, mom. I need to do my best.
If you do the best, if you outshine the rest of your platoon members, you can be posted to a specialist school or officer cadet school.
You wayang to get more respect from the commanders or to get like to perceive in a better light.
Signing on in the army does pay you well, and kind of everyone knows that. So maybe some people have their personal reason.
Get higher rank, get higher pay, or they got some family issues. Wait a minute. Not family issue, financial issues.
Based on how BMT grades, they would call us the top 10%. So when most of us come here, we don't really have the mentality of being a CHAO KENG. We won't say we are chiong sua, but we will put our best in every situation that we do. That kind of mentality, just push until the end. Then when it's done, enjoy your rest.
Is to actually escape from their current reality in their own lives. So maybe they broke up. So when they book in, they view that once they are in camp, they treat the camp as the place to take their mind off things and they will do their best in whatever they do just to temporarily forget about their lives at home.
The sense of togetherness, when you see your friends, like let's say in the same platoon, they see themselves pushing themselves, right? You will get the tendency to want to push yourself also. Because in the army, like you're never alone. Then I think this motivational cycle, like he'll see that you're trying hard, so he'll try even harder. That cycle actually makes people want to chiong sua.
Maybe for some they just really enjoy it. Hold up. Like they feel very in their environment, in their jungle, you know. Like they like the grass.
For people that CHAO KENG, I myself see splitting them into 2 categories. So for the first group, right, which is
people that
Know what they want to do.
they find that serving the nation is of no meaning and they find no need to contribute back to the nation. No matter how hard the commanders give them appointment or push them some responsibilities to complete, they won't even put in their best effort.
They feel that this 1 year, 10 months, they could do something more.
They also want to focus more of their energy on stuff that they are more passionate about. Therefore, they'll put in lesser energy in NS.
So what I see in some of the recruits that I've trained is that after they pass out from BMT, they get themselves to a 9 to 5 job, and after that, at night when they go home, they can do their side hustles or whatever.
the other spectrum is there are people that just don't know what they want. When they go to the army, they get a shock of their lives like, oh, every mistake you make, right, you get it good. So it really gives you a taste of the adulthood life where you don't really have much room for mistakes and you really have to hold the heavy responsibility of being an adult.
In army, we always say to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. For example, maybe your first exercise in the jungle, no proper food, no proper shelter, no proper rest, and some people don't want to succumb to that and they don't want to do that again. So when the next mission comes up, they just report sick and then they can live a better or more comfortable life.
That mindset sort of like, is willing to push people to cause other people problems just so they can escape that pain. It's a very, very strong motivator to go out of the way and like compromise your morals.
They don't feel like they like the environment that they're in. Meaning to say that they don't feel like they belong or they don't feel like they are part of the team that they're in, be it the platoon or the section. Honestly speaking, this may be because of the platoon culture that they're in, hence leading to them not being able to find the sense of purpose that they're supposed to have.
Let's say you end up in a very bad vocation. It's very hard to find that intrinsic motivation to like push yourself onward, especially when you feel like the things you're doing are not very meaningful, or like you feel like you cannot find a purpose, or like you don't have people to chiong sua with. So when you're faced with a very hard situation and you're given 2 choices, it's either the easy way out or the hard way out, you'll definitely go for the easy way out.
Usually a lot of people CHAO KENG is for outfield. If there is no incentive other than a regular pay of 860, if they think it's not worth it, why get paid to go outfield when you can be paid to take MC and stay at home? Like actually from what I've observed, because majority of my friends CHAO KENG.
Hey, don't say that.
I feel that some people, they only start to CHAO KENG after they get the taste of their first MC. First time they really sick, then they got MC. Then they experience having the enjoyment of being at home while everyone in camp check. But they at home, they relax. Then they, damn shook, no? Then they don't want to go back already. So they start to CHAO KENG.
Why I never CHAO KENG outfield even though I hate it. Because my role is technically a bit hard to replace. If I CHAO KENG, right, another have to do my job. But since he has to do my job, he has to do his own job also. So it's a bit like 你害人啦.
I think the most important lesson is that in life, sometimes we have to work with people who may be not so easy to work with. However, we don't have much of a choice because in the end, we still have to complete the task at hand. So we cannot change the people that we have to work with. However, we can definitely choose to change the way we want to handle the situation.
Being open to challenges and having the right mentality to overcome it.
Confidence. Coming into NS, I didn't have much confidence in myself in speaking up to other people. Thankfully, I went to OCS and that was a very good platform for me to see how other people lead. So it was an eye-opener, and after I commissioned, I tried to apply that in my own unit.
To have fun doing what you're doing. When you have a more positive or more optimistic perception of what you're doing, it actually makes it a lot easier to put in the effort and put in the motivation. And also try to find motivation from other people who are working with you. And you can also try to be the motivator, to try and motivate other people to work towards the same goal. Even though you may not believe in the goal so much, but when you all do it together, it makes it a lot easier and makes it a lot better.
Choose the people that surround you properly. I feel that whether people CHAO KENG or they chiong sua, right, depends a lot on the people that surround them. Everybody in your group all CHAO KENG, then you one person chiong sua, then you also feel a bit stupid, right? Like for me, during commando, even though like
damn shag lah, damn xiong.
But cause it's like we always suffer together with the same people. End up honestly, I look back, I think it's quite fun.
You set your own expectation. As a spec or as an officer, right, you have expectations put upon you because you are leading someone else. As a man, you sort of have to be more independent because there is no expectation on you. Like assess the situation around you. Maybe this isn't worth it, maybe that isn't worth it. You have to make your own choice. People won't tell you.
In life, you'll be put into situations where you don't like, you don't want to do, and like you question yourself, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And like, how can I get out of it? But it's just those situations where you have to do it well. You have to get through it. Army terms we call it suck thumb, carry on. Instead of wondering, why am I put here? What if? Go and think of ways to finish it better, finish it quicker, then get it over with.
So to all my guys out there, my advice would just be to just do your best.
Go into NS with open mind.
Come in for open mind.
Do what you feel is right.
Don't take it as you're being trapped in the service for 2 years. Take it as you're given another opportunity to shine in a different place.
Just look forward to every small milestone, whether is it an exercise or whether is it a book out.
Now you in NS, right? Anything happens still won't like be very devastating on your life one. So got anything, just go and try. You try it, then you know whether you actually like it or not.
Don't give up on yourself too early. This could have been the best time of your life even. I've made good friends that I keep into contact up till now. You really remember the times where you go through thick and thin together.
No matter where you go, you'll meet people from different backgrounds. You meet people who live totally different lives, and from there is how you challenge yourself to get to know them, then also know how to interact with such people.
Singapore, we're so used to studying, so used to being so education oriented. When you go inside, it's completely different. So take your time to find yourself. Take your time to realize what kind of person you are, because I'm sure NS will give you the opportunity.
A lot. Especially if you're a man, you legit set your own expectations. Stuff you do may not seem justified in other people's eyes. So if that means CHAO KENG, then by all means.
Really, nigga?
It's either the incentive is not big enough, right? And then that's the job of either your captain or your sergeant major to enforce a higher incentive.
There are some places that say we cannot look forward to book out, but I don't think so. I think book out is something you should look forward to, because in army you spend so much time training to defend your nation. It's to defend your family, so that you can go back home to see your family. Look forward to book out, look forward to every single break that you have, and then slowly army will just feel like, it's over already. So take it one step at a time.
Of course, you can't help but be tired lah. It's supposed to be tiring because you're training ma. If you have a positive mindset, I'm sure like at the end of the day when you ORD, right, you'll all be worth it. Rather than you think back and you think, wow, I wasted these 2 years. It's not a very good feeling.
Honestly, these 2 years are really precious. So once these 2 years are gone, right, you're not going to get it back anymore. So if you really have something that you want to do or have a goal in NS, just try your best and just go for it. And make sure that whatever you do, don't regret not trying.
One thing that we can all agree on is that NS is freaking shit. But bobs, we still gotta do it. 2 years is a damn long time, and we can accomplish a lot of different things depending on how we view these 2 years. But in the end, it's still up to us what? we are the ones that determine whether or not we want to take up the responsibility, as well as how much effort we want to put into this responsibility, which is directly proportional to how much we will actually learn. But if I were to give one piece of solid advice for my fellow breathers out there who are either about to enlist or still in the service, it will be to properly make use of your time. It really doesn't matter whether you study for university, whether you try to start up a side hustle, whether you invest your money, or whether you go drinking with your friends, but you want to make sure that this entire 2 years, you spend it fruitfully. As cheesy as it sounds, right? When you look back on these 2 years in the future, you can either think, what a waste of time, or I made the most out of it. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a thing or two about why people CHAO KENG and how to find your perfect balance during your entire NS journey. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, as well as leave a comment below of why you think people chiong sua and why do you think people CHAO KENG. You can also share this video with your friends that are about to enlist or some friends that are still in the service. But where got time, right? Wadilo. Thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you next Monday. Always remember, stay nasty.